Good morning, Thailand. My name is Alex.
And I'm Jay.
And we got some news updates for you from around the land of smiles. It's Tuesday, July 1st. We're done with June, everybody. Before we begin, please remember to subscribe to the Thaiger to stay up to date on all things Thailand. Now, today, we'll be talking about backlash over Coup rhetoric that sprung up over the weekend. A Swedish man beaten by a mob after an argument with his girlfriend in Pattaya, and a little later, a shocking arson incident on a South Korean subway. Before we begin, though, what do you say, Jay? Should we hear a quick word from our sponsor?
Well, let me tell you, Alex, I love real estate. I love everything about it.
I need a home. Yeah.
If I wasn't doing media, I'd be flipping houses, and the way I'd be doing it is through fazwas.com because they've got the largest real estate portal in the country.
You don't say.
Yeah, so if you want to buy, sell, or rent property in Thailand, fazwas.com.
That is absolutely the place to go.
Yeah.
Rent for me. Sorry. I'm saying, when am I going to make enough money to be buying on Fazwas, Jay?
Next
Lobby.
story.
All right.
Yeah.
It's not the only thing. I do want to plug.
Oh,
Can I plug?
God. How many plugs do you have?
I have to. I need ticket sales. Everybody, if you're in Pattaya this Saturday, come and check out Pattaya Nightlife, a stand-up comedy freedom special featuring yours truly as the host, along with my good friend Philip Fuchs. That's how I'm going to pronounce it.
Is it not Philip Coup?
It is Phil Coup, but he's got a different stage name now.
I see.
It will feature Daniel Holmes, one of my best friends and favorite comedians, also a Thaiger contributor on the stage. Greg Anderson, in from Vietnam, a Canadian great, and Eric James, who has the real credentials. He's done the Laugh Factory, the Comedy Store. He's been at all of the big clubs in America. He's been a working comic for decades, I believe, and now he's out here in Bangkok to grace us with his presence. Well, not Bangkok, Pattaya, this Saturday. So you can go to Megatix, just look up Pattaya Night Live, stand-up comedy freedom special. You can book your tickets now. Hopefully, I will see you there this Saturday. All right, now on to the news.
Yeah.
Shall we? Thank you for that, Jay. Our first story is about the Thai rally that happened over the weekend that has sparked outrage over the alleged coup rhetoric. So, everybody was talking about this rally over the weekend. The reporters were saying there was going to be 150,000 people out. I think in the end only like 6,000, 7,000 came out. And it was mostly the older generation. Now, Thailand's political tensions escalated after opposition and ruling parties condemned recent rally leaders for allegedly encouraging a military coup. At a national unity event led by the United Power of Land group, speeches hinted at coup support, drawing backlash from the People's Party and Pattaya. Critics warned such rhetoric undermines democracy and the Constitution. While peaceful protests are legal, both parties stressed that coup advocacy is unacceptable. The controversy highlights growing political fragility as pro-democracy voices clash with rising nationalist and militaristic sentiment. No coup, I think, is a good way to go. What do you say?
That's the biggest fear I have in general. Every day. As a long-term expat.
I think that the protests were sort of like a dip the toes in the water, test how this rhetoric would play out in terms of public support. Yeah. The thing is, Pattaya is in the hot seat right now. Everybody's like yelling about Paetongtarn and Pattaya, but they're coming at it from different angles. Yeah. You have like the Bumjai Thai and the more military coup side on one side, but the Move Forward Party, or the People's Party, excuse me now, whatever they're called now, are opposed. They're the opposition party. They are certainly not in favor of a coup. So it's interesting to see how this plays out.
But it's not just that. See, like, look, for whatever people criticize the government about flip-flopping this and that, the people of Thailand don't mess around, man. And when it comes to protests and when they've made up their mind, they'll go out in numbers if they need to, again and again and again and again. So watch the space. Yeah.
Keep you posted.
All right. Well, for now, we're going to move on to our next story, which is a little bit of some sad news, but could happen to anyone. A Bangkok motorcyclist crashes after allegedly falling asleep on Expressway. Shouldn't have been on there in the first place. All right. Well, a motorcyclist sparked public concern after crashing into a tanker on a Bangkok expressway where bikes are banned, while appearing to be asleep at the handlebars. Now, despite the dramatic impact, he suffered only minor injuries, thankfully. A viral video showed the man unresponsive and drifting in a straight line before the collision. The footage ignited debate online over driver fatigue, enforcement failures, and safety on restricted roads. Authorities have yet to comment, but the incident has reignited calls for stricter regulation and awareness of road safety risks. A lot of motorcyclists use the bridges that they shouldn't be using. Expressway actually is a little bit of a surprise. Normally, most 99%, if not 100% of motorbikes don't go on the expressway. It's kind of, you got to go through the tollways and stuff, and it's a bit difficult. But there are a lot of bridges in Bangkok that are not expressways that motorbikes are not allowed to go, but it's extremely common practice for most motorcyclists to just go and use the bridge.
Yeah, I think one of the things that we see often, at least I've seen it on my bikes, we take the Google Maps or whatever, and we're taking the bike route version of it. It still sends you on those expressways. Like
No, it doesn't.
Sometimes I've seen it. I've been on grab bikes where they've done it and they've been like, "Wait, I need to turn around," and then they need to figure out a way to get out of there. So it's happened to me personally. I've seen it.
They haven't clicked the bike option. Like if you actually take the bike option, it will never take you expressway.
Really? Because I did it on mine. I always do that. Do you do this? If you're on the back of a Bolt, do you get out your own Google Maps and make sure that he's following? Because I don't trust the maps that they use. I swear to God, it's happened to me before.
It might be a bit confusing. The reason I say, because like I use my maps every day, right, while riding the motorbike, right? So there's always a path under the expressway. So if you don't want to actually get in trouble, if you put the bike mode on, it actually always takes you the right way.
Yeah, I can see it. Well, anyways, no telling exactly what this guy was motivated by. Maybe it was an accident, maybe not. Either way, if you're tired, maybe pull over.
Sometimes there's a bridge just to skip the red light, right? And if you're using the bike mode, it actually tells you to go to the red light, but you could just take that small bridge. And technically, motorbikes are not allowed on there. I'm not gonna lie, I use the bridge, along with 1,000 other motorcyclists.
Rules for thee, not for me, Jay.
Rules
all right, fine.
and consequences.
Well, anyways, stay safe out there, guys. Our next story, we're gonna move on. It's our favorite city. A Swedish man was beaten by a mob after an argument with his girlfriend in, of course, Pattaya. A Swedish man was brutally assaulted in Pattaya Soi Buakaw after an argument with his Thai girlfriend escalated. He claims a mob of over 10 unidentified Thai men joined in, leaving him bloodied and shaken. The incident, captured in disturbing social media images, has sparked alarm about safety in the tourist-heavy city. Police are urgently reviewing CCTV footage and appealing for witnesses. The attack has fueled concerns over rising street violence and the adequacy of law enforcement, with officials pledging swift action to restore public confidence in Pattaya's safety. I don't know what motivated this, I gotta say.
It's just a classic Pattaya story, man. They don't need motivation.
I guess. But it kind of sucks. I don't know. Public arguments, spats with girlfriends and things like that. You shouldn't be doing that anyways. But what is the motivation? Why did so many other people get involved and start throwing fists?
True.
I don't know, but certainly not great when these kinds of things go viral, and hopefully with the attention called to it brings a little bit better regulation of it.
Anyways, on that note, we're going to move on to our next story, which is regarding a Thai mother who asked police to arrest her son over drug addiction. A desperate Thai mother in Sakeo pleaded on Facebook for police to arrest her drug-addicted son after he traded durians she bought him for yaba pills. Her emotional post went viral, prompting authorities to arrest the local dealer, Sao Pradit Sri, who was found with 90 yaba pills. Sao, a repeated offender, tested positive for drugs and now faces serious charges. While officials acted on her plea by targeting the supplier, there's no update yet on the action taken against her son. The case highlights ongoing struggles with meth use and community-level enforcement challenges in Thailand. Desperate story, desperate measures, but a mom's got to do what she's got to do.
Yeah, yabba dabba don't, I say. But this is one of those. Sorry, it's kind of funny. But yeah, I think it's interesting that it takes like somebody going viral to be able to get some sort of enforcement in their local community, right?
Yeah.
So it shows again what a powerful tool social media can be in trying to affect change, particularly in a place like Thailand where social media is so important. So congratulations to her. Now, is this a Hydra situation where you cut off one head and then more will sprout out? That's something that remains to be seen. But yeah, yaba is no joke, man.
Yeah.
It's a big problem, especially in rural Thailand. And sad to see. Look, I'm not a big fan of durian anyways, but you shouldn't be trading away mother's gifts to fuel your drug addiction. All right. last story for Thailand. You're up.
What is this show today? Anyways. New citizenship rules in Thailand that have been introduced addressing statelessness among children of long-term migrants. Now, effective immediately for 1 year, the policy allows children born in Thailand to migrant parents registered before 1999 and between 2005 to 2011 to apply for Thai nationality. Applicants must show proof of birth, 15 years of parental residency, and language proficiency, though young children and those with disabilities are exempt. The move covers various ethnic groups and aims to improve access to education, healthcare, and legal rights for thousands. Authorities emphasize strict eligibility and the potential for revocation if criteria are falsified. Well done to Thailand.
I guess so. Yeah, why not? Like, if you spend so much time here, 15, 20 years living here, on the invitation, you've been contributing, right?
Yeah,
like people
man.
are paying taxes. Anytime you're buying stuff, you're paying a sales tax.
And you look, sometimes it does feel a bit unfair, but life's unfair. As in, I'll use my personal example. I've been here for 25 years. I identify as a Thai more than anything else in this world. If I went back to my country of birth, I'd just be a tourist lost. Yet, I have barely any citizenship rights, So, it's a whole process, but great for these kids. I kind of understand, like, when you're growing up here and you've been here for like 15, 20 years and you don't know anything else other than Thailand and Thai food and Thai language and Thai friends and Thai people and Thai government, everything. There should be a path. There should be some way for these kids to feel like they're part of the country.
Yeah, I mean, this is particularly a hot topic these days with all the talk about, there was a Supreme Court case in America that is apparently ending the concept of birthright citizenship, which people have to realize that most countries in the world do not have birthright citizenship. It's through your bloodline. So you're a citizen of wherever your parents come from typically. So this is not a right that's extended in most countries. And here in Thailand, it's interesting to see these little maneuvers. I always wonder what the anti-immigrant sentiments are like here in Thailand generally, because it's so welcoming to foreigners and tourists, things like that. Is it so welcoming to the migrant workers that are coming here?
Definitely
Maybe
not.
Displacing jobs, yeah. Probably not. So some things are true everywhere. All right, well, that'll do it for our Thailand section of the news, guys. We're going to head into our ASEAN section, but before we do, we're going to hear a quick word from our sponsor. Let's hear it.
And that's how fast they are in getting you a home. The speed of that ad.
Go check out FastWest, everybody.
Yeah, it's so fast you're going to have to check yourself. Like, whoa, this happened.
Look, we're getting
I
combo.
have a house now.
Good. It only took 3 blinks. Good music. This is that's a lot of love coming in from the chat. Thank you, guys. All right. Hold on. I got a serious story.
All right. Apologies.
Thank you. All right, so guys, that does it for the Thailand section of the news. We're off to the ASEAN section, where our first stop is actually a little wider than ASEAN. We're off to Korea, where a man sets fire on a Seoul subway with 6 people injured. CCTV footage released by South Korean prosecutors show a 67-year-old man setting fire to a subway carriage in Seoul on the 31st of May. So this is a little out of date. The man poured flammable liquid on the floor before igniting it, causing chaos as passengers fled. 6 people were injured in the incident. Authorities have charged the suspect with attempted murder and arson. The footage has sparked widespread concern over public safety in South Korea's transit systems. Yeah.
Whoa.
Pretty
Did
wild
you see those
stuff.
flames? They just...
Yeah, a crowded subway, that's like ripe for an attack like that.
I'm glad. I mean, it looks horrible. I mean, it looks much worse than. It looks bad.
Yeah. Fortunately, no deaths or anything like that.
I'm lost for words. I don't know what to say. I mean, that could have gone so horribly wrong and bad. And yeah, man, what's with arsonists?
Well, it's a weird thing. Like, you always wonder where the motivation is for these kinds of acts.
Yeah.
It's society, some people just want to watch the world burn, that kind of thing. But
there's a big political mess there at the moment as well.
For sure.
Yeah, but thoughts go out to the people. I mean, thankfully everybody could escape and got out of there.
Well, this guy,
there's crazy people everywhere.
Well, they're throwing the book at him too. Attempted murder. Like, even if nobody was, like, certainly was maybe your aim. Certainly premeditated, right? Nobody just brings a gallon of gasoline onto the subway without the intent. So, yucky stuff. But he's in custody and people are safe, so that's good.
Yeah. All right. Well, we're going to move on to our next story, taking us to Indonesia, as Indonesia seeks probe into migrant workers' death in South Korea. Indonesia is demanding a full investigation into the death of Ngadiman, an Indonesian migrant worker killed in a work accident at a South Korean metal factory on June the 25th. Minister Abdul Qadir Karding said the government suspects negligence and is urging legal action by the Indonesian embassy in Seoul. Ngadiman died after his arm was pulled into a conveyor machine. He had only been in Korea since October under a government placement scheme, and Indonesia has provided compensation and promised scholarships for his children while pressing South Korea to ensure accountability and improve workplace safety.
Yikes.
Well, a lot of people in the ASEAN country travel to these other countries for better work and better pay, and there are some government schemes that kind of allow them to also work abroad. And South Korea generally fairly decent safety standards.
Yeah, apparently, maybe not in this case, but that is the question. Really, it was. Were the safety standards in place where this guy was operating in a safe environment, or were they not? Which is why Indonesia is pressing for this investigation.
Yeah.
Workplace accidents do happen, especially in factories where there's a lot of heavy machinery moving around and things like that. But the whole point is regulations are written in blood. So were there some regulations, corners cut by the company? Where was there some rule not followed by the worker himself? Whatever it is, an investigation needs to be done in order to find out what exactly happened so that it doesn't happen again.
Yeah.
All right. Our next story, we have some intrigue, spy stuff, assassination attempts potentially.
Ooh.
Czech intelligence uncovered China's plan to target the Taiwanese VP in Prague. All over the place with this one. Taiwan's Vice President Xiao Bi-Kim vowed not to be intimidated after Czech intelligence revealed a foiled Chinese plan to stage a car collision during her 2024 visit to Prague. The plot, allegedly orchestrated by Chinese diplomats and intelligence agents, aimed to demonstratively confront Xiao, but never advanced beyond planning. Czech officials condemned the breach of diplomatic norms, while China denied wrongdoing and accused Prague of supporting separatists. Taiwan demanded a formal apology, highlighting rising tensions over Beijing's attempts to undermine Taiwan's international presence. Yikes. So I think it's interesting that, obviously, Czech Republic, probably not much of a relationship with Taiwan. Probably China is a more important relationship for them in terms of trade. But the fact that our intelligence agencies found out that they were planning to do this car collision thing, which may or may not have ended in her death, the Taiwanese vice president, and they reported it. They just aired it out to the public. China's like, what? Nuh-uh. Shut up. And Taiwan's like, come at me, bro. I think it's pretty ballsy of the Taiwanese vice president to have that kind of an approach. But China is certainly none too pleased with Taiwan's increasing international presence.
That was technically a great sum up of the political tensions between Taiwan and China. Nuh-uh, come at me, bro.
Yeah, seems to be what's happening.
No, sounds like I'm being sarcastic. Fair enough. Okay.
Agreed.
All right.
I'm with you.
We'll move on to our next story, which is our last story from around ASEAN, taking us to Ho Chi Minh City to relocate 15,000 Canal-Side families in urban upgrade. Some good news coming out of Ho Chi Minh City as it plans to relocate nearly 15,000 families living in slums along District 8 canals as part of a major urban renewal effort. The project, costing over $4 billion involves clearing overwater homes, dredging 36.5 kilometers of polluted canals, building embankments, and adding green spaces. Funding will come from the state and land sales, with District 8 housing the highest number of canal-side dwellings, officials aiming to complete relocation citywide by 2030. The initiative continues efforts since 1993 to transform the urban landscape and improve living conditions along HCMC's waterways.
I always like to end on a good note,
Yeah.
That's pretty
There
cool.
we go.
I wonder how that works, though. 15,000 people to be relocated. Where are they moving? And then are they moving back into the nicer ones? I'm not sure.
Know how they're going to do it in Ho Chi Minh City. A lot of the times they build these housing complexes and then they give them like apartments depending on how how it is.
It's a big thing. In China, this was always the way. They would always say, okay, look, we're tearing down this building. It's an old building. All of you will get a new apartment in the new building. It'll be bigger, it'll be better, it'll be cheaper, and that kind of a thing. So, yeah, I think it's good to see when countries like Vietnam and China and other ASEAN countries are trying to lift their populations out of poverty, it's very important that the government have clear rules about how these relocations are going to be, and to make sure that people can have the peace of mind to know that their life will continue to be stable. So hopefully, yay, good news for Vietnam.
Yeah.
All right. Let's wrap up the show. Oh, yeah. So, guys, Jay, wrap us up.
Okay,
Yeah,
ladies and
let's-
gentlemen, those are some of the stories from across Thailand today. You can find more stories on thetaiger.com or join in the conversation at
ASEANnow.com.
that's Thailand's largest news forum.
Yeah, don't forget to follow, subscribe, like, click the join button, become a member, do all that stuff. Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, Twitter, whatever.
Okonomi.
Okinomi. And we will be with you tomorrow. For now, let's dive into the comments and see
Yes.
what our viewers have to say.
If you like that story, please like and subscribe. And for more Thailand news, follow us on Instagram, YouTube, or TikTok at The Thaiger, or you can go to thetaiger.com and join the conversation.